Welcome to Camp Rogers TV.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Madeline.
And we have a great lineup of guests for you today. We have Magic.
We have Crafts.
We have Henry Burris.
We have Ray's Reptiles.
And we have Radical Science. But first, let's take a look at all the things we've learned today. I mean this week, sorry. Welcome back to Camp Rogers TV. We're here now with Elliott Smith the Magician.
Oh, you recognize me?
Yes.
Even with my sunglasses on?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because it's bright out here, so I thought I'd wear my sunglasses.
Okay. So why is magic so important to you?
Wow, childhood dream, childhood passion. I watched The Magician when I was 6 years old on TV, and it's totally bitten. And I started going to the library, getting books on magic, and it was my passion, my dream, my goal, and started learning from books, because back then there wasn't internet, there wasn't DVD, there wasn't video, so I used to go to the library and get books from the library, and my mom and dad used to help me, and it followed me throughout my whole life. When I went to school, actually when I was out working in real jobs, and it was something I really wanted to do, and a number of years ago I decided I'm going to quit my job and pursue magic on a full-time basis, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
Wow.
So how long have you been doing magic, like performing for people?
So professionally, I've been doing it now, this will be 43 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I know how to do.
So do you ever get nervous before performing a trick?
It's funny you mention that, because I've met a lot of performers who do get nervous, and even from my very first show that I was doing when I was 7 years old, I was never nervous. And then my first big stage show I did when I was 14 at an audience of 600 people, and I was never nervous. If anything, I get a little antsy before I go on stage, but other than that, I've never had any nerves.
Okay. Have you ever made like little mistakes or flukes during your performances?
It's funny you should ask me that. Yes, it happens. I mean, we're all human, we make mistakes, but I believe that's what differentiates a professional from an amateur. If an amateur is doing a trick and it goes wrong, it's going to be very noticeable, but professionals have what we call outs. And what that means, if during the course of the trick I see something is going wrong, I'm not going to be able to do the trick properly, I can sort of change course of the action of the trick and end up doing something else without anybody being the wiser.
Good.
What are a few tips that you give to people that want to be magicians in the future?
Determination, dedication, patience.
Okay.
It's a type of an art form where it's constant repetition, so it's something you really have to want to do. And if it's something you don't want to do, you're not going to have that same passion, so it takes a lot of hours. Some of the tricks that I learned may take, in terms of hours, maybe 50, 60 hours. And it's constant repetition, doing it every day, time after time. And so if somebody doesn't have that diligence, and it's not going to work. So it takes a lot. It's like any other art form, playing piano, playing a musical instrument. It takes hours and hours of practice.
So you perform here in Ottawa?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So I perform here in Ottawa. I do everything from home parties, children's birthday parties, to large corporate events, conferences, conventions. I also do corporate training for companies using magic, because everybody loves magic. So I do team building, I do motivational speaking using magic, but then I performed all around the world. I've been all across Canada, the United States, Europe, the Caribbean.
Wow.
So I love doing what I do.
That's so cool.
Do you have a preferred age range or audience for performing magic to?
I love doing children's parties because a lot of times I'm the first magician they've ever seen.
Okay.
So to be able to watch the reactions and see their eyes open really wide, or
Yeah.
when I do a trick, you hear the audible, to me, that's what it's all about. But also with adult parties, I can do a little bit more sophisticated things.
Okay.
I don't have a preferred one. I just actually love it all.
Okay. So I hear you have a few tricks to show us.
I have something to show you guys, and I thought I'd do something with cards. Now, a lot of times when a magician does a card trick, I use a whole deck of cards, so I have a lot of chances of fooling you. But I brought 2 cards. I'm going to try to fool you with only 2 cards, which makes my job much harder.
Okay.
And the 2 cards I'm going to use right here is the 9 of Hearts and the 7 of Spades.
Okay.
Now, it's not important to remember what the card is, but the card has 2 characteristics, a front and a back. They call that the face of the card, and that being the back of the card. Now you see, I don't know, you can see that I have some bends in the cards here.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the 7 lengthwise with the face of the card out. I'm going to fold the 9 halfway face in. So I have 1 face in, 1 face out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the 9 inside the 7,
Okay.
just like that.
Yep.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the fold like this. So now as you can see, the 7 of Spades is face in,
Yep.
the 9 of Hearts is face out.
Yeah.
But if I take the 7 that's face in, if I pull it through like this, you see what happens? It now turns back face out. If I pull it back through like this, you see it now turns back face in. Now where the magic really happens is when I go like this, push the card through. So now you see half the card is face out, the other half the card is face in. Now to prove the card is actually half and half, Madeline, can you put up your left hand just like this for me? And hold it right here like this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the card halfway, and I'm actually going to rip it in half. Now you can see it ripping, you can hear it ripping. So you see half the card is face in, the other half the card is face out. Now if we open up both the cards, you see they actually match up perfectly, just like that.
That's incredible.
So you can keep one half as a souvenir, you can keep the other half, because I don't play with a full deck.
So what are some basic tricks that, or types of tricks that every magician should know?
Well, I actually teach magic to people, and I tell people that the best things to learn to start off is things with everyday objects that, without using props. So cards, coins, elastic bands, paper clips, pieces of paper. So that way, no matter where you are, in somebody's home, if you're out on the street and somebody says, can you do some magic, that you don't have to rely on sophisticated or expensive props. You have things on you, or you can borrow some coins from some people and use their things.
Thank you very much, Elliott.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
We're now going to take a look at some rock climbing.
Hi, I'm Beth here at Dovercourt Rock Climbing Camp, and I am here with rock climbing instructor Corey. Corey, what got you into climbing, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, I joined RIJ's 2 years now. This is my 2nd summer with the company, and I haven't been rock climbing too long. I'm an employee here. I make sure everyone's safe and gets on the wall and off the wall safe. And once in a while I'll get up there and do a climb myself, but I'd say just maybe about a year in I'm climbing myself, so pretty new to me.
And what equipment do you use?
On this wall here, we need to get into a harness first. So the first thing we need to do is get the kids into a harness, a safe harness. Then we clip them on. The camp supplies the helmets for the kids. And basically this one is an auto belayed wall. So when you're ready to come down on this wall, you just grab the rope and it'll let you down itself with hydraulics.
What training do the campers need before they can climb?
No training at all, really. It's basically you know, experience and keep trying. There's kids that I've seen, you know, get up a quarter way, and then, you know, by the 3 weeks later they're getting to the top. So it's basically you got to keep at it. It's a lot of leg and arm strength involved. So yeah, it's basically practice to get better on that.
What kind of challenges do you give the campers?
Yeah, see at the top of the wall, there's a green buzzer at the top of the wall. So the challenge is to get to the top to ring the buzzer, right? Sometimes when we're set up at fairs and stuff, we have a $100 challenge for the challenge side. So if you get to the top, you can win the $100. So we do stuff like that in different games to make it exciting and challenging.
Thank you for joining me today. And for Camp Broadcast TV, I'm Beth Wallace.
When you were a kid, did you want to be a police officer?
Actually, when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a teacher. I really thought that I really liked being with kids and helping kids. And then I got this opportunity to join the Ottawa Police, and I said, I'm going to try that job. And I've been here 35 years, so probably longer than anybody in this room has been alive.
What's your favorite part of being a police officer?
My favorite part, I think my favorite part is being able to help people. It's pretty gratifying, and you know, even as children, we know that when we help somebody, if one of our friends falls, somebody needs help across the street, that doesn't go away just because you're a big person. So it's really been pretty gratifying to be able to help people.
What emotions do you feel while you're doing your job?
Well, I think there's a lot of emotions. Mostly it's happy. Sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I feel sorry for some people. Sometimes it's you feel hurt. I've had to do a lot of, I've been involved in quite a number of things where people are very sad and I have to try and help them. So I have to try and maintain a very balanced emotion. But mostly now I'm involved in a lot of meetings and just trying to set up the way that the organization works. So it's just happy that, first of all, that I'm finished the meeting and that I've achieved the goal or whatever that meeting is.
What's the strangest call you've ever gotten?
The strangest call? Well, there's lots of times where we get calls for there's a cat up in the tree. Those aren't really all that strange. A very interesting question. Somebody got their snowman stolen. Seriously, and they wanted to report it to the police.
Wow.
So I think it was a pretty quiet night, so our dispatchers went ahead and gave us the call. And so, of course, we had a little bit of fun with our dispatchers, asking if there were a description, what did the legs look like, was he able to run fast, all those kinds of questions.